aware of what's going on. And then you also have a whole lot of guys who give female information, whether it be on Instagram or Facebook. You have a lot of guys out here that have they have a huge following of maybe single females, and they give them advice on how to get a guy, how to keep a guy. But I noticed the tone when they're talking to these women, especially this one guy. He's really popular right now. I think his name is Kevin Samuel, something like that. That's his name. But he's always telling women he's like your average looking, if because he does a live with these women, and they'll come on and he'll ask them stuff like, how much do you weigh, how tall are you, how much money do you make? He asks them stuff like that, and then he'll tell them, well, he'll tell them like straight up, he'll tell the woman, well, you're an average looking, you're not making that much money, so what makes you think you're going to get a high value guy and stuff like that. And I just feel like he's very, I don't know if it's, a lot of people praise him. They say that he's very honest and he's blunt. But to me, it's almost like borderline abusive, I think to these women. Because who is he to say, the woman is average, whatever, that's his opinion. But for him to tell them, well, to most guys, you might look this way or seem this way or whatever. But women seem to flock to this guy for advice. Is he married? Is he in a relationship? I think so. He was married. I think he's divorced. And then you know how sometimes you have these relationship gurus who they will come on, they will give you advice, and then things will come out about them later, like as far as them and their personal relationships and things like that. Now, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's true, but I get a feeling that he might be sweet. Now, I know he has kids, and I know he's been married in the past, but I have a feeling that he may have an attraction to men. And if you ever look at his live, you'll see what I'm talking about. But also, I think it was a couple weeks ago, he was doing a show, and somehow he had the camera turned around the wrong way or something like that, and it was a guy sleeping in his bed. Now, I don't know why it would be a grown man sleeping in another grown man's bed unless they sleeping together. I don't have my female friends over. They wouldn't be sleeping in my bed, so I'm just saying. And then the other relationship guru who was giving women a whole lot of advice and writing books, and he had just inked the deal with TD was what was his name? Derek Jackson. That was his name, Derek Jackson. And he was coming on and he was telling women, if you got a guy and all you're doing is saying what you're doing all day, and sending you these messages, and he would tell the women, things to look for if a guy was cheating. Now, in the instance with him, he was married we never knew he was married because he would always do these videos in a car. And they were good videos. Like, he seemed to give good advice. He would say, hey, if a guy is doing this, these are signs that he's messing around. If he's, inconsistent. He had really, really actually good advice. But all the advice he was giving, the reason he was giving it is because the whole time we didn't know he was married, but it came out that he had some women that he was seeing, and he was married. But women also flock to his videos to get great advice. And I noticed that most of these people that give relationship advice are people who have been in relationships, are not in relationships anymore, have broken up, or have a track record of cheating and things like that. And then it's very seldom that you see a relationship guru that actually is in a good, steady relationship that's real and organic and genuine. It's very, very seldom that you see that. And I can remember years ago, being a kid, and hearing Dr. Ruth. My mom used to listen to her, Dr. Ruth. And she was kind of like she would talk about sex and keeping your marriage spicy and all. She was an older lady, but she gave some really good advice. I wish we had people like her around now, because she kept it real, but she was very, very respectful in the way she presented content and gave people information. It was always very genuine and came from a good place, and she was very respectful. She never, made anybody feel like they were less than anything, or made somebody feel unattractive or whatever. And if somebody did feel that way, she always had a way of making it funny and light, and she gave some really good information. But like I've always said, your best relationship advice would be um, to base it on life experiences. I mean, of course, when we're younger, we do silly things, relationships, um, and you just have to learn. You know what I mean? You got to learn as time goes on. So, um, listen to people who have been divorced several times or have had many failed relationships, but they are giving you advice on how to get a man or keep a man. Obviously, they are not the people that you should be listening to, because they weren't able to keep a man or a woman, whatever the case may be. But a lot of times, because someone is on um, TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, whatever it is, that you to look at, and they have a few subscribers, then we flock to them, or we think that they're telling us something that we need to hear. Another thing too is you see these the YouTube influencers and stuff like that, who give advice and stuff like that. But then when you do research, you realize they too have had a bunch of failed relationships. Now, if someone has one fair relationship and they just want to talk about like what happened in their relationship and things that they could have done differently, it does not necessarily mean that you can, base your relationship or things you should do on that. And then a lot of times people are telling you step by step what you should do in a relationship. Now, if you're doing that, isn't that really you, or you like it's like you're following an instruction manual? You're not being yourself. But I just felt like the young man, the guy that I was talking about, that just, he's been married 2-3 months, and he's reaching out already. I can tell you now. I can say this about him. It was maybe a year and a half or whatever, that I talked to him and he tried to marry me. He was just basically looking for someone to marry. I think he just wanted to be married. He wanted to be in a relationship. He wanted to. It was certain things that he wanted to do, and he wanted to do them now. So he just wanted to find somebody, anybody, who would marry him. Because I remember him. He used to say a lot. All my friends are married. I go to their functions or whatever, and I don't have anybody. I want a wife, and I want a house, and I want this, and I want that. And I was like, you can get those things, but you need to. Don't rush it, because it may not last. And since if I was a brand new newlywed, I wouldn't be on Facebook all day long, inboxing folks all day. I would still be honeymooning way into the next year. We've been locked down, and we'd be traveling, we'd be doing all kinds of stuff. But like I said, people, you just never know what people are thinking or doing. And the best advice I can give to anybody, like I said, as far as relationship, like I don't even give people um, relationship advice. I'll listen to what you got to say if you're venting, but I'm not married to anybody right now, so I can't. I've had a failed marriage, so I definitely can't give you advice on how to keep. All I can say is just like I said, base it on uh, life experiences. Don't rush into things really, really quickly. A lot of these dudes out here, to me, in my mind, they just suspect. A lot of them, not trustworthy. It just they just don't make men quite like they used to make them. Um, so I just and like I said, I always need my mind stimulated. And these guys, all they want to do is send a picture. I've seen plenty of dicks, so that's something that's gonna excite me or turn turn me on. It's got to be something more than that. We gotta be able to talk about everything, anything. And then, like I said, ladies, if you out here and you looking for advice, and then you're trying to do what somebody told you to do, and it's not coming from a genuine, authentic place, it's not going to work, because you're not going to be able to keep up this facade for somebody for so long. And like I said, each person is different. So when these people are giving advice and they say men, like all men or all women, want you to do this or that, or it's just not going to work, because they don't know all men and all women. I listened to another guy. His name is AC Mitchell. He's I don't know. Somehow we became friends on Facebook as well. He's a YouTube influencer. He's a martial artist. He's an actor. He's been in quite a few martial arts movies and stuff like that. And he does a YouTube uh channel. It's called High Value Man, and he's giving guys advice on how to get women. And every time I watch it, I laugh so hard. He's a great guy. He is. But I just some of the things that he talks about on that YouTube channel about what women want, and he's telling these guys, okay, do this and do that. And then if a woman is blinking her eyes like this, or she's looking at you out the corner of her eye, this is what this means, or this is what that means. And it's just so funny to me, because it's so far off base. It's just funny. You know what I'm saying? This is not 1952. And women are a little bit more evolved. You know what I mean? We don't, we just don't do a lot of the things that he talks about in his video. And it may be some women who you know do some of the things that he talk about, but I think most grown adult women, with any values and morals and stuff like that, they're not doing all that kind of stuff. But I would say the best thing that you could do in any relationship. Hold on for me, just one moment. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. But I would say just guys and girls, the best thing you can do is be yourself. Just be yourself. You cannot listen to what somebody else is telling you to do to maintain a relationship. Get to know each other. But in getting, and always at the beginning of a relationship, you're gonna try to be on your P's and Q's, and you're gonna try to, just do all the great things to make this person say, "Hey, this is an amazing person." But the best thing for you to do is just be yourself. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. I have learned that if you are yourself, then it's no surprises, and you tell people right up front what you expect, or how you are, and it usually works out, or it doesn't work out, but at least you were honest with yourself, you were honest with the person, and they kind of know what to expect. And like I said, I've met, I don't know what it is, the last few guys I have met, they, I don't know, they all wanted to get married really quickly, and it could be just because they were older gentlemen. Um, I'm no spring chicken. They're no spring chickens, but I'm just saying, I don't know what that is, but the only thing I can say is just time and experience will tell you everything you need to know. If you know you had several bad